Hi, I am going to read to you a track from Women of Spirit. I have three of them that I would like to read to you. The first one is Falling in Love with God. The worship song soared from our little church, and my spirit soared along with them. The Lord is in Psalm 23 verse 3 says, enthroned in praises of Israel. What a joy to be in love with God. But arriving there was a difficult journey. The year before, my list of complaints was so long that it was embarrassing to share them, even to ask for prayers. Shortly after my father died unfortunately, my mother needed a major surgery. My husband John and I put everything into helping Mom, even cleaning up her 20-acre ranch to sell and moving 9 horses and the barn. But because we devoted so much time to many crises, our fledgling computer business folded. Working full time, I still try to be with our 3 boys as much as possible. Begging became a way of life and a joy value memory. Where are you, God? When Carolyn invited me to attend a weekend Christian women conference, I jumped at the chance to get away from my heavy responsibility, but my begging followed me there. I half-heartedly joined it in the morning, singing, and snoozed through the talk. My head told me to quit feeling sorry for myself. Pulled up my socks and get moving. But my heart cried out, where are you, God? Don't you care about me anymore? I perked up when one of the speakers called people to come to the front of the room for prayer that I could use. I feel forgotten by God, I told the woman. She prayed for me, then looked at me straight in the eye. You have lost your first love, she said. You need to romance God. Thanks a bunch, God, I grumbled as I wandered outside to sit near the flourishing flowers from the garden. All my fault, isn't it? Romance? You? Huh? Just how am I supposed to do that? I paused in my complaint to take in the beauty around me. If I were you and you were me, I would know what to do. I would send me flowers. And in case you have forgotten, my favorite color is purple. Sometime later, I joined Carolyn for dinner and the closing ceremony. At the end of our host announced that we have a surprise for you. Look under your chair. Each woman who finds a star under your chair pasted underneath gets to take home the centerpiece from her table. I checked my chair and found a paper-sized star. Tears came to my eyes as I reached to claim my prize. A pot of beautiful purple His gentleness in the face of my crankiness, His humor in the face of my demand. I went home to learn how to do what I was told. Romance, God. As I thought about romance on the human level, I realized it is characterized by the joy in spending time together and basking in each other's love, by going out of our way to please others, and by longing for increased intimacy. But how was I to do this with God? Romance and God. Number 1. First, I had to focus on God instead of my problem. I needed to acknowledge His greatness and His ability to solve my problem. The Psalms are full of accounts of the greatness of God and His acts of mercy. Throughout both the Old and New Testament, God's people recount God's, quote, righteous act found in Judges 5, verse 11, and His victory in their lives. I realized that instead of rehearsing my woes over and over, I needed to find God's victories in my life and recount them. Delighting my children and the love and support of my husband and a steady job were just the beginning of the true, pure, and living thing Philippines 4:8 urges me to meditate on. That meditation increased my faith in God and my ability to trust Him. 2. I also needed to acknowledge God's love for me, found in Romans 8, verse 34, says that Christ died for me, rose again, and even now interceding for me. In verse 35, Paul asked if anything can separate us from the love of God. If I rewrote that verse to ask, can exhaustion or too many bills or serious illness or broke down cars or rebellious children or unreasonable bosses separate me from God? The answer would still be resounding. No, never. Now there's a love I could back in. Number 3, I could never outgive God, so how could I go out of my way to please Him? Learning to pray and worship Him through song, prayer, meditation, thankfulness gave me keys to reaching God's heart, just as I enjoy giving honest compliments to a beloved person so that I could sacrifice of thanksgiving. Amos 4, verse 5. Joy in Psalm 27, verse 6, and praise. Hebrews 13:15. To my beloved Lord. Not only does such praise please Him, but it moves me beyond the boundary of my present circumstances into the boundlessness of His eternal love and provision. Through worship, I move from merely knowing about God's love to truly connecting to it. As that connection grew, I grew into greater intimacy with Him. Since that day at the conference, life has gotten easier in some ways and harder in others. God has not given me flowers lately, but He has given me a deep and abiding appreciation of His love for me and a growing love for Him.